Hi guys, and welcome to another Skyrim mod feature, episode 30. First up we have another mod from the fantastic Tamriel Reloaded series, and this one focuses on grasses, plants and shrubs. In this video I am using the 1.0 version with the additional optional files for 2K landscape textures. And with all the comparison shots like this one here, the original scene is with the vanilla textures and also the vanilla meshes for the plants. Incidentally, it has been reported on the mod authors page and in the comments section that you can use this mod with other grass overhauls such as unique grasses and Skyrim floor overhaul. However, you will need to use Skyrim floor overhaul 2.0, otherwise this mod will just simply overwrite it and won't add anything to that mod. This mod will also need you to change several sections underneath grasses in the Skyrim ini file. Those changes are listed on the mod author's description page, and I'll post them here at the top left of this video just so you can see them while it's running. If you have a significant change in performance when changing these files, I recommend changing the Aiyen grass size to something like 40 and it will significantly improve your performance. Obviously the grass will be slightly less dense, but it will make performance significantly better. You can increase this all the way up to 100, but you will notice the grass becomes very sparse. All in all, this is a fantastic addition to the Tamriel Reloaded series, and I'm looking forward to additional mods that come out for it, and eventually, hopefully, an all-in-one package which allows us to add all these great mods to Skyrim at once. Next I have a mod that I don't tend to show, and I haven't shown one like this for a while. It's called Wacky Weapons and it's a little bit silly compared to some of the traditional mods that I show. However, I feel that this mod adds some great weapons to the game, especially the pitchfork and spade or shovel, which are really great if you play role-playing as a farmer type character, really useful for attacking and fending off wolves from your farm areas. I like how this mod has not just added the miscellaneous items to become weapons, it's actually really thought about how they would actually be implemented as a weapon. For example, the small statues of Dthirteen and Talos have had a hilt added to them, so they're actually plausible as a weapon. These weapons can either be bought from Belethor's goods or crafted at the forge, and they're all of Daedric quality. Unfortunately, that's the only downside for me. I would prefer if they were either iron or steel quality, as sometimes you are just dealing with a pitchfork and spade, and that seems to fit more in with their remit rather than Daedric quality. Maybe the Shrine of Talos or Dibella could be of Daedric quality, as they are a shrine devoted to a divine. I've not shown all of the weapons here. For example, I've left out the Giant's Hammer, which is something for you to explore and enjoy on your own. I definitely recommend downloading this mod and checking it out for yourself and just seeing what sort of intriguing ideas have been added by the mod. This next mod is a very well executed interior overhaul mod for some of the shops around Skyrim. This mod adds some very extensive changes to the shops in Skyrim and adds some much needed changes which weren't present with the vanilla versions. The most dramatic changes you'll notice by the mod are to Belethor's goods in Whiterun, Arcadia's Cauldron and also War Maidens, and in Windhelm there are extensive changes to the White File. Not all of the shops that have been changed will be shown in this video, but for a full list head over to the mod authors page and check the description section. I'm running this mod alongside enhanced lighting effects and I've noticed some slight incompatibilities. Most of these come from the smoke effects which are added by EFLX. For example, the fire pits which are found in Belethor's goods and in Arcadia's Cauldron emit a large amount of smoke. And when you apply Skyrim Radioactive, this smoke is still emitted from the place in the floor where those fire pits would have originally been. It's not too immersion breaking and sometimes the smoke is not too evident. However, for a short term fix you can either change this in the creation kit, or you can head outside of the interior into say another place like Breezehome and wait for about 36 weeks. Now 36 weeks is a long time to wait, but you can use TFC in the console, and this will shorten the amount of time that it takes for time to pass using the wait menu, or you can use a mod that changes the wait menu so you can have about 36 weeks straight away and just leave the game until it's finished waiting. It's definitely worth checking this mod out for yourself so you can see all the changes that I've not shown in this video, and I would recommend heading to the mod authors page to check out the pictures and images there, as well as the other videos which represent this mod. In terms of performance, you'll notice no performance drop with the new interiors, however you may notice some slight light flickering and some objects flickering in and out. Hopefully these will be changed in future updates. To check out the mod, head over to the mod authors page and remember to endorse if you use. Next we have an armor mod called the Journeyman Healer Robes. This mod adds a nicely embroidered set of robes to the game, especially where the hood and cape are concerned. They can be crafted at the tanning rack, or you can find an enchanted set across Skyrim which has enchantments keyed towards restoration. This set consists of the robes, some shoes, a hood and a cloak which is frostfall compatible, as well as a set of gloves. It's also important to note that you can obviously remove the cape and the hood, and they can be worn separately, so you can wear the cape without the hood or the hood without the cape, so you can customise the look of your character using the robes. These robes can also be worn by female characters as well as the beast races. Next up we have QuickDrop, which has some fantastic new implementation to the way in which you collect clutter and also get rid of it from your inventory. So we're in game now and I have a couple of items scattered about the place so I can easily pick them up and drop them. The first thing I need to do is to go into the MCM menu and scroll all the way down to QuickDrop. And here we can see we've got a selection of 5 hotkeys. So these can be selected from anything on your keyboard. And you can show current item, drop the current item, keep the current item, drop all items, or keep all items. Okay, so on the settings, you can select up to 10 items to be remembered. I'm going to keep it at 5, just to make things a little simpler for this video. You've got also an option for the quantity handling, and this means, say for instance, when you pick up say 5 linen rolls, it just wants to know how you want these remembered. So if you have it on remembered all, it remembers all the items as a stack. You can also select remember each, which will remember as many individually as possible. And then you've also got remember one, which will just remember one from that particular item. I'm going to keep this on remember all. You can show a message for skipped items. So this will display a message when an item picked up has not been remembered. Some types of items, for example quest items, are not remembered by QuickDrop. I'm going to leave that unselected just because generally I know what items are quest items, and I've got none actually on the floor right now, so I'm not going to need that selected. You can also show a message when an item is dropped, and I am going to leave that activated, and it will display a message when the current item is dropped, just so we can see how the mod's working, and it will be displayed on the top left. So let's now take a quick look at how the mod operates. So I'm going to pick up these 5 items here, like so. Jump into the mod configuration menu to take a look at what's been added to the list. So you can see here that 4 of the items have been added to the current remembered items, and that's because weapons don't tend to show up on this menu. I found that a couple ones added by mods have shown up. That might be because of their identification is slightly different to the vanilla weapons, but all the vanilla ones haven't shown up here, so just bear that in mind when you're using this system. So I've got the fur armor at the top of the list, the fur helmet, the iron arrow, and then the hide boots. So if I go back into the game, and if I press F now, which shows me my current item. You can see at the top left we get the message showing me that the fur armor sleeveless is at the top of the list and is next ready to be dropped if I want to drop it. So if I press G, this will then drop the currently selected item, and there we've dropped the fur sleeveless armor from the inventory. So if I just go back into the mod configuration menu, we can see that that has actually taken place on the list to the right hand side as well. See, fur helmet is now top, followed by the iron arrow, followed by the hide boots. So what I can actually do is I can actually remove some of these off this list by pressing H, and that will add them to the inventory and take them off the list. So if I press H now, nothing appears on the top left, but if I go back into the MCM menu, we will see that it's been taken off the list, and if I'd have pressed F, we would have seen that the iron arrow was top of the list from that system. Now I've got several options here as well. I can keep these two items to remove them off the list, or I can drop all the items which will remove them from the list but not put them in the inventory. So if I come out, press the hotkey for that, which is K, and it will tell me at the top left that all items have been dropped, and there they are on the floor. So where the system really comes nicely into play is if you're looting in a dungeon and you suddenly go over your carry weight and you've picked up something useless like a basket or some linen wraps, you can simply, after you've picked up the item, press K and it'll drop it back down, or you can pick up the item and press F, find out what the current item is, and then press your other hotkey, which I've got as G, to drop it straight back down the floor if you didn't want it. And it's a very, very neat system. It involves you not going into any menus to check things, only in the MCM. Say if something's slightly broken, you can just have a little fix in there. But apart from that, you don't have to go into your inventory to drop anything now, you can just simply drop it from that menu, and it's a really nice little mod. And last up in this video, I want to take a look at the blue fire Atronach, a retexture of the original, which changes the fire into this nice blue colour. It really makes a stark contrast against the vanilla textures for the Atronach, and I really do like this version over the vanilla. Unfortunately, the fireballs or fire blast that the Atronach throws are still in the original orange and red colours, but this isn't too distracting, and I really like the blue streak that the Atronach makes while moving about. What I'd really like to see from this mod is an option so that the wild Atronachs appear in this blue colour and the summoned ones appear in the original fire colour, just to separate out the two from each other. I think that'd be really quite a nice touch. If you've liked any of the mods that I've shown in this video, please do head down to the description section so you can follow them to the mod authors pages, and also remember to endorse any of the mods if you use them. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll see you next time.